Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Pits of Motorcast. This yours, Dave. I got a line special guest, the driver of the Tulsa County Heatwave Jet Funny Car, Sam Ives. How's it going, Sam?
I'm doing great.
So, how'd the Jet Funny Car run for you this year? You had good runs?
I'm sorry, I can't hardly understand you.
Okay, I said, so how did the Jet car run for you this year? Did you have some good runs?
Well, we had a little mishap here in 2017, and I haven't gotten my car back together yet.
Really? I didn't even know that. So you had 2017 you had an accident?
Yeah, we had a little mishap, and it tore the car up pretty good, and it's taken me some time to get it back together.
So, oh wow! So you think 2020 you'll be running?
Well, I think it's probably going to take me a couple more years because of the finances. It's going to cost a lot. I've got to build a whole new chassis and do a lot of work on the body. It tore it up pretty bad.
Wow! I'm sorry to hear that.
But I'm not giving up on it. I'm planning on getting it back together. It's just going to take me longer than I had anticipated.
Yeah, I'm sure you're anxious to get back out there again.
Yeah, I miss all my jet car friends all over the country.
Well, okay, let's rewind the clock and talk about your history, Sam. How did you get into drag racing? What got you into drag racing?
Well, probably my dad being a mechanic and me getting started playing with cars when I was young. And my grandfather bought me a go-kart when I was 9 years old. And my dad and I started racing that go-kart in a junior competition. And my dad and I raced that go-kart until I was a senior in high school. And so that's what got me started racing, and just one thing led to another.
So you started on a junior go-kart, and what'd you move into after that?
Well, I grew up in a small town, and we didn't really have a drag strip, so we just kind of started drag racing. We had a strip laid out in a remote part of the county, and we did our drag racing there on Saturdays. And as I got older and got more experience playing with cars, just one thing led to another, and I just got into the drag racing.
So what year did you finally start racing on a regular drag race track?
I'm sorry?
I said, what year did you finally start racing on a real track?
Probably 1964 or 5 probably is when I actually got to start racing on some actual drag strips with competition.
Now, when you first started racing on an actual track, what were you running?
I had a 57 Ford Fairlane 500 with a 312 Police Interceptor. And it was for a street car, it ran pretty good.
So you started out with the bracket racing?
Yeah.
What'd you move into after bracket racing?
That's just about all I did was bracket racing, and went in the service and started. I was a jet mechanic in the Navy. Went during the Vietnam era, and that's what got me started into the jets.
Well, thank you for your service, Sam.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So
I worked as a mechanic in aviation for 7 or 8 years, and with the GI Bill, I got my flight ratings and started flying corporate. My second love is flying.
So what year did you start? You know, did you build the Jet Funny car, or you bought the Jet Funny car?
We bought the Jet Funny car in 2010. A friend of mine called me. I was crewing on a field car down in Florida, and a buddy of mine that I'd met that had a jet car called me and said, "Sam, you need to look on Race Junk. I think there's something you might like." And that evening when I got back to the hotel, I pulled it up on the computer, and there was a picture of my car.
Wow.
Well, the car that was to be mine.
Now, when you purchased the car, it wasn't the Tulsa County car, was it?
No, it was, the name of the car was actually, when I bought it, the name of it was Backdraft. And the car was built back east someplace by a car builder by the name of Bob Jenkins. And it was a really nice car, and up till just a year or so ago, or I guess it's been about 2 years ago now, that my car being a center drive car, I mean, I sat in front of the engine in the middle of the car. There was only 3 cars in the world: Al Hanna's top secret car, my car, and a car that was over in I can't forget. It's out of the country. It's called Firestorm. We're the only 3 center drive funny cars in existence, and there's been a couple built since then.
Wow. So what made you decide on Tulsa County Heatwave?
Well, I've been a reserve deputy sheriff in Tulsa County for 31 years. I retired 2 years ago.
That's
so
good.
I've been in law enforcement since 1985.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat car. You got the lights going on there and everything. It's. Did you hear me? I said I like your car. It's got the police lights on there and everything.
Do what now? I'm having trouble understanding.
I said I like your car. It's got the police lights on there that actually work and everything.
Right.
Pretty neat car.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
It'll when I get my jet car back together, it'll still be Heatwave, but I'm probably going to do a little bit of changing on it, so it'll be a new car coming out. But it'll still be Heatwave.
The kids probably like that car, huh?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've always done with me being in law enforcement. I belong to an organization called Beat the Heat Inc. It's a racing organization of police officers and firemen throughout the world that use drag racing as a tool to get kids off the street and keep them from drag racing on the street. Street racing is not drag racing.
Right.
And I have a 57 Chevrolet that I've been drag racing up until I got the jet car that is in the Beat the Heat program. And so while I'm getting my jet car back together, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing with my 57 Chevy.
Nice. So now, 2010, you got the jet car. When did you get your license? Same year?
Yeah. A couple months. Well, I bought the car in January or February, and that spring I got my license.
So where did you go license at?
Right here in Tulsa.
Now, who signed off for your jet license?
I'm sorry, what about my license?
I was saying, who signed off for your jet car license?
It was not really. It was pretty easy, really. I just had to put in do all the passes.
So what was the experience like for you the first time driving a jet funny car?
Well, it was really pretty simple. The thing that I remember the most about my first time was when they closed that body down on me. I'm not claustrophobic, but that body sits right down over the cage, and it gets your attention the first time they put that body down. But once you get the engine started, it all goes away.
So now, what kind of jet engine do you have in that car?
It's a General Electric J85. It with the afterburner, it puts out 6,000 pounds of thrust.
Now, what kind of fuel? Go ahead, Sam.
It uses the same engine as the T-38 Air Force trainer. Only they have two engines in the trainers.
Now, what kind of jet fuel you running that on?
Well, when we can get it, we'll run kerosene, jet fuel. But a lot of times we'll just run diesel, and you really can't tell the difference.
Now,
there's not enough performance difference between diesel and jet fuel. The engine probably performs a little bit cleaner with kerosene than diesel.
Now, with the fire show and path, how many gallons you burn up?
I figure I burn about 23 to 25 gallons per quarter-mile pass. And that includes the fire show before you pull up to the starting line and run the quarter mile, because you're going through the quarter in less than right at 6 seconds. So the majority, the afterburner puts out 300 gallons per minute. That's how much fuel the afterburner burns up.
Now, what kind of body's on that car?
It's a 1998 Pontiac Firebird.
Now, when you get the car fixed, is it going to be the same body?
I'm hoping so, yeah. It's going to be a little bit heavier because of all the fiberglass repair, but I'm going to try to make it work because it's a one-of-a-kind body, and I really like it.
Now, what's the quickest pass you've had with that jet car?
Let's see. It's not the fastest car out there by any means. I think probably 620 maybe, and at about 250, 255, something like that.
So now, after all these years of doing this stuff, what still keeps you passionate about doing it, Sam?
Oh, just the need for speed. I've always enjoyed the acceleration rate and just the performance.
Now, when you take that jet car out there, how many crew members do you have?
It's mainly my wife, Dixie, and I. She's the crew chief, and I usually have one helper that is a big, strong guy that can raise and lower the body once we get the engine started at the starting line to put the body down, and then have to, at the end of the track, once we finish a pass, have somebody help lift the body up to tow us back to the pits.
Now, does your wife pack your chutes?
No, I pack my own chutes. I think most all the jet car guys that I know of pack their own chutes. So, and that's why I had that's what happened with my accident. My chute didn't open.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I didn't get it packed right. I think it was the way the track was designed. It kind of went uphill after you went through the finish line, and I think the airflow over the car disturbed the air, and it just didn't get the chute didn't blossom.
Wow. Now, do you have any sponsors?
Sorry, what?
Do you have any sponsors at all?
No, I don't. Not right now. That's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to get the car back together. I guess I need to get me get the Heat Wave a GoFundMe page.
So now, as far as the sport of drag racing goes, Sam, do you have any drivers that were inspirational to you in drag racing?
No, not really. I've always followed the pros, drag racing. Tony Schumacher, I know him personally, and he used to drive a jet car.
Yep. Well, now you said you used to work for you were crewing for a nitro car before?
Yeah, I was a part-time helper, you might say. It's a volunteer crew, and they needed some help, and being a mechanic, I volunteered to help them out, and just gave me a chance to get around some high-performance cars.
So do you think you'd ever sit behind the wheel of a nitro car?
No. You said. Now, I'm not sure I understood what you said.
Yeah, I asked, would you ever drive a nitro car?
Oh yeah, if I got the opportunity, that I think that would be something that would get my interest.
Now, as far as the sport of drag racing goes, Sam, do you have anything on a bucket list that you would like to try sometime?
No, not really. My goals now is just getting my jet funny car back together, because we really enjoyed doing that, and it's not only is it the racing at the track, but it's the camaraderie of all of our friends that we deal with when we're at the track.
Right, it's all just one big family.
Yes, and that's probably what I miss the most, is not being able to be out there and be with my friends.
Now, when you're out on the track with the jet car, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all?
When I'm on the track with the jet car, what?
Do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
No, I would just say a little prayer to keep me safe and do a good job, because in drag racing, you're racing against yourself as much as you are the guy next to you. And the biggest thing is doing a good job. If people get beat, a lot of times it's their own fault.
Yeah. So now, what kind of preparation goes in? What kind of preparation goes into getting the jet car ready for a weekend?
Well, Well, when you get it out of the trailer, the first thing you do is put the battery chargers on the batteries. It takes 24 volts to run the solenoids on the jet engine, and I have the lights and stuff. I have a spare 12-volt battery that runs my lights and stuff on the car because it's got the light bar and the strobes and stuff on it. And then the other two 12-volt batteries are put together for 24 volts to run all my systems on the car. And you always check the conditions of the track, and then you check your tire pressures, make sure you've got, and when you know what time you're going to run, then you plan on getting it fueled up. And the last thing you probably do is pack your chutes.
Now, so far in your career, have you reached any milestones?
Have I what?
Have you reached any milestones?
No, I really can't say I have. I've just enjoyed doing what I'm doing.
All right. So, what are some of your favorite tracks to run on, Sam?
The tracks that we've run on.
Now, what are some of your favorites?
Well, we always enjoyed going to Epping, New Hampshire, and running up there the Jet Car Under the Stars. And we run a lot down in West Palm Beach at Moroso. Used to be Moroso at Palm Beach International. And we've run out at Denver at Bandimere. The Bandimeres are super people.
Now, do you do a quarter mile or do you run eighth mile too?
Both. The night that I had my accident, I was running an 8 mile. I was running just a little over 175 when I had my mishap.
Now, do you have any preference?
A preference?
Yeah, do you have any preference out of those two, quarter mile, eighth mile?
I'd rather go the quarter mile because you get more speed and more performance. The jet car just really starting to accelerate. It's really the second 8th mile is where the jet car really accelerates. You're going 4.5 G's from the time you light the burner at the starting line, and when you cross the 8th mile mark, it's where it really is. You can really tell the momentum and the acceleration is.
So now, Sam, where do you get all your fire safety equipment from?
Almost all my safety equipment is Simpson. My chutes, my helmet, my fire suit, seat belts and everything, they're all Simpson. And I think I'm here today because of having the good safety equipment.
Yeah, that's that's a great thing that they make good safety equipment to keep you guys safe.
Yes, for sure.
Now, was that the only accident you ever had driving a jet car?
Yeah, I had a little mishap about 5 years ago. I got up against the wall, but I only missed 2 events, and I had the car fixed, and I was back going again.
Well, knock on wood, Sam. When you get that car running again, you won't have no more accidents.
Yeah, well, I'm one of these guys that believes that when it's my time to go, it won't matter what I'm doing. That's why people ask me, "Are you scared to get back in the car?" And my comment to that is, if you're scared to do it, you shouldn't be doing it. And I don't have any problem getting back in the car and going 250 miles an hour. It just feels natural.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you a few fun questions here, Sam. You ready?
Okay.
Now, outside of the jet car, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I fly RC airplanes.
Oh, that's neat.
My good friend back in West Virginia, that's a retired police officer. We were hanging out back there in West Virginia, and I went out to the airfield with him to fly his airplanes, and he got me hooked on it. And I don't know that you know, but I'm a retired airline pilot. I flew for 28 years.
Wow.
So I've always had a need for speed. I retired in 2006 from the airlines when I turned 60 years old, or I'd still be flying.
Now, go ahead.
It's a lot of fun to fly these little airplanes, but there's nothing like being in the airplane, like flying a little Learjet and feeling the acceleration of the jet taking off. It's a lot like the jet car, only at the end of the runway you're flying instead of getting stopped with parachutes.
Now, if you were able to time travel and go back in the time, would you do anything differently with your jet career?
No, I'm pretty pleased with the way everything turned out. I feel very fortunate to have had the career that I've had, and that I'm still able to do a lot of the things I like to do, health-wise and everything.
Right. So now, if you and Dixie ever have time to go on a vacation, what's your favorite vacation getaway?
Oh, that's a hard one. We've been all over the place, so I would say we live here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I would say it's quick and easy for us to go to Branson, Missouri. That's a cool place to go. To just have a good time and hang out. Nothing to do with racing.
All right, now, Sam, what is your favorite food that you like to eat?
Hamburger and French fries.
Now, does Dixie cook a lot?
Yeah, she's a super good cook.
All right, what's your favorite dish that Dixie makes?
I would have to say her meatloaf.
Yeah, my wife makes a good meatloaf too.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a good meatloaf, and that's one thing that never goes to waste because they make really good sandwiches.
Oh yeah, that they do.
Yep.
Now, do you cook at all?
I'm an outdoor cook. I like to grill steaks and stuff in the summertime.
Now, when you're at the track, do you grill?
Occasionally, yeah. If time, with the jet car where we had plenty of time, I have a little grill that we take with us and all cook out.
Now, when you're at the track, for a day of jet car racing, do you eat regular, or do you eat light and wait till after the runs are done for the end of the night?
I'll eat early in the day, but if like most of our runs are in the evening, I'll eat early in the day. But once I'm into the racing mode, I don't really eat much after that.
All right. Now, Sam, what's your favorite beverage to drink?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
All right. Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Probably Top Gun.
What's your
And I've heard that there's a new one coming out. I'm anxious to see it.
Really? Is Tom Cruise going to be in it again?
Well, I've just heard rumors. I don't know anything for sure, but I've heard he's probably going to be one of the instructors at the Top Gun school.
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know how much of that's true, but I keep waiting for it to come out. I haven't seen any previews of it or anything, but I've just heard rumors to that effect.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, huh?
Yep. Usually when a rumor like that starts, it usually turns out to be true. So you just see how long it takes them to get it out.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite music, Sam?
Favorite music?
Yeah.
Oldies, 50s and 60s oldies.
All right. Now, back when you were a youngin, when you were a little kid, did you have a favorite cartoon?
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
A lot of people pick Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
Bugs Bunny or Roadrunner, all those.
Yeah, I like the Roadrunner too. Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up with the Mouseketeers and Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, and that Funicello.
Yep.
Now, can you think of one most embarrassing moment you had on the track?
Most embarrassing moment?
Yeah, while you're on the track, on the starting line with the jet car.
Yeah. I was running at that place back in West Virginia that I was just telling you about, my buddy. They were putting on a race, and my wife says, I want you to do a really good fire show because we're putting this on for our friends here. So I did a really good fire show, and it's an 8-mile track, and I pulled to the starting line after my fire show, and when the tree came down, I launched, and I got out about 100 feet and flamed the engine out. I ran it out of fuel.
Oh no! You burned it all up on the fire show, huh?
Yep.
Well, like you said, at least you put on a good fire show.
Yeah. Everybody wondered what happened, and they thought maybe something broke or something. And I said, no. When I got back to the pits and took the cap off the fuel tank, it was bone dry. So I learned a lesson that day that you have to limit your fire shows leave yourself enough fuel for the run.
Yeah. Yeah, we always learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
So now, what would you consider to be the fondest memory of your jet driving career so far?
I'm sorry, what about my jet driving career?
What would you consider to be your fondest memory? Your fondest memory of...
That's a hard one. I just probably getting to run at some of the big tracks that I've got to race, like Z-Max, the four wide.
Yeah, the four wide tracks. I've never been to one of those tracks yet.
Yep. I got to run at Z-Max a couple of times, and that was probably one of the highlights of getting to go to the big tracks.
4 jets at once, huh?
Right.
Yeah. No. Now, how important do you think it is for kids to come out, to the tracks these days?
What about the kids at the track?
I said, how important do you think it is for kids to come out and watch drag racing?
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
All right. How important do you think it is for kids to come out and watch drag racing?
How important?
Yeah.
Well, if kids are interested in racing, I think it's real important, and that's what our Beat the Heat program is all about: is getting kids to come out and race with us at the track, where they have the safety equipment and where we do it safe.
Yeah, that's a good thing you guys do for the kids.
And that's one thing about the jet car, we always have a lot of time during the day to talk to people that are coming through the pits. And we have a lot of young kids that, some of my greatest fans are less than 10 years old.
Now, do you put any of the kids in the seat of the car in the pit area?
Oh yeah, I've got pictures of some of my fans that are sitting in the seat.
Yeah, so that makes a memory of a lifetime for those kids, huh?
Yes, I'm sure it does. I can remember when my dad took me to the airport when I was about 8 years old, and I got to sit in an airplane, a little single-engine airplane. I'll never forget that, and that's probably what got me interested in wanting to learn to fly.
Now, Sam, if people want to find out, later on down the road when you get the jet car fixed, if people want to find out where you're going to be at with their jet car, what's the best way for them to follow you on the Tulsa County Heatwave Facebook page?
Now, when I get the car back on the track, what?
I say, when you get the car back on the track, what would be the best way for your fans to, people to follow you where you're going to be at? Would it be the Facebook page? The Tulsa County Heatwave jet car page?
I'm sure it'll still be the same, because people are used to that, and then I'm sure that's how it'll stay. Like I said, it'll always be the heat wave. Now, whether it's the Tulsa County heat wave, because it's set up like a police car with lights and everything on it, and I don't really have any reason to change that.
Now, so for the people to follow you though, would the Tulsa County Heatwave, the page you have on Facebook, that would be the best way for people to follow you?
Yes. Yeah, because we keep that current even today even though we're not running the car. That and Facebook.
Yeah. Well, Sam, I want to thank you so much for taking time to do an interview with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I've enjoyed visiting with you.
You're welcome. You have any final words or thank yous or any kind of stuff you want to do before we close?
No, I think we've covered about everything. I really appreciate you taking the time to letting me do this interview.
No, you're welcome. We'll do another one when you get the jet running.
Okay. I hope that's sooner than later.
Yeah, me too. And you have a great night, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Sam.
You too. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too. Happy New Year.
Right.
Thanks again. You have a great night, Sam.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.